When most people think of Guyana, this is what they see: an untouched, impenetrable jungle, a green sea of biodiversity blanketing more than 80% of the nation. Lately, you've probably heard about the colossal oil discoveries off its coast, gushers of black gold that are turning it into the fastest-growing economy on Earth. The headlines are almost hard to believe: a nation of just 800,000 people, with oil reserves per capita that are on track to rival Kuwait. But that's the story everyone knows. It's the story of wealth being pumped from the sea. The real story, the one that could fundamentally redraw the global resource map for the next 100 years, isn't out there in the ocean. It's in here, deep within the ancient, mysterious landmass that forms the very heart of the country. Because while the world is fixated on oil, geologists have been quietly piecing together a totally different kind of treasure map. They found evidence of a hidden mineral frontier, a secret belt of copper and strategic metals so vast, it might not only be more important than all of Guyana's oil, but could one day challenge the dominance of the mining Goliath next door, Brazil. This is the story of how one of the smallest nations in South America is waking up to a geological secret that could make it a global superpower. To really get your head around what's about to happen in Guyana, you first have to grasp the vertigo-inducing scale of what's already happening. Before 2015, Guyana was one of the least known countries in the Western Hemisphere. Its economy was small, mostly dependent on sugar, rice, and bauxite. On most measures, it was a poor country. Then, ExxonMobil hit oil. And they didn't just hit some oil, they hit the mother lode. The discovery in the offshore territory known as the Stabroek Block wasn't a one-off. It was the start of a drumbeat of discovery after discovery. Liza Payara, Yellowtail, Whiptail. The names sound like a line of winning racehorses, and in a way they are. Each one represents another multi-billion barrel find. The consortium led by Exxon has found over 11 billion barrels of oil equivalent, and they're still looking. The economic impact has been insane. In a world where economies celebrate 3 or 4% annual growth, Guyana's GDP exploded by 62.3% in 2022 alone. The IMF projects its economy will keep expanding at a pace that has almost no modern precedent. In just a few years, production has gone from zero to over 600,000 barrels per day. And with new ships coming online, that figure is expected to blast past 1.3 million barrels per day around 2027. Money is flooding the nation's bank account. In just the first 5 months of 2025, oil revenues put into Guyana's Natural Resource Fund crossed the $1 billion mark. For a country whose entire government budget was a tiny fraction of that a decade ago, this is a tsunami of cash. New hotels are shooting up in the capital, Georgetown. Long-dormant infrastructure projects are suddenly breaking ground. You can feel the energy of a nation on the verge of a historic transformation. This is the story of black gold, a 20th century fuel building a 21st century fortune. It's a dazzling, almost blinding display of new wealth. And it's this very brilliance that has provided the perfect cover for an even more strategic resource revolution happening on shore, hidden under the jungle. The oil boom is the loud, bombastic opening act. The main event is just getting started. Leave the deepwater oil rigs and the buzz of Georgetown behind, and you'll find a different world. A world of dense rainforest, winding, tea-colored rivers, and a silence broken only by the call of a toucan. This is the Guyanese interior, and it sits on one of the oldest and least explored geological formations on the planet, the Guyana Shield. Picture a landmass 1.7 billion years old, a slab of Precambrian rock that predates the Amazon rainforest itself. This shield is the bedrock under Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, and parts of their neighbors. For centuries, its mineral potential has been more legend than fact. The jungle has kept its secrets locked up tight, while its twin in West Africa has been mined for centuries, yielding over 275 million ounces of gold. The Guyana Shield has remained a blank space on the world's mining map. But that's changing, and fast. For years, local miners, called pork knockers, have chased gold in the rivers, finding just enough to hint at the treasures hidden in the hard rock below. Major discoveries, like the recent ones at Oko West by G Mining Ventures, have confirmed the region's world-class potential, with that project alone holding resources of over 5 million ounces of gold. These finds are like a gateway drug, drawing in a new wave of exploration companies armed with tech that can finally see beneath the trees. And what they're starting to find is triggering a huge pivot in Guyana's strategy. The government, flush with oil cash and newfound confidence, is looking beyond petroleum. It has put out a global call for investors, not just for more gold, but for the minerals that will power the next century: copper, lithium, and rare earth elements. This isn't just a passive hope, it's an active hunt. Geologists are flying planes with magnetic and radiometric sensors over the jungle, creating a high-tech treasure map of what lies beneath. They're charting the ancient faults and volcanic structures where, billions of years ago, these critical minerals may have been concentrated. The early signs are more than just promising. The country's geology suggests the potential for massive copper deposits, the kind that supply most of the world's copper. There are hints of lithium-bearing rocks, the source for the key ingredient in modern batteries. And within the shield's complex geology lies the tantalizing possibility of rare earth elements, the indispensable guts of high-tech magnets and defense systems. The world is taking notice. In the Fraser Institute's annual survey of mining companies, a global industry benchmark, Guyana has made a meteoric rise. The 2024 report ranked it 9th in the world for mining investment attractiveness. But here's the kicker. It was ranked number 1 in all of Latin America and the Caribbean, leapfrogging giants like Chile, Peru, and its neighbor Brazil. This isn't just about rocks. It's a vote of confidence from global investors that Guyana has the right geology and a government that's ready to do business. The experts believe the treasure is there, the map is being drawn, and the race to find it has begun. So, why the sudden intense focus on these specific minerals? Why would copper and a few obscure elements be more strategic than billions of barrels of oil? It all comes down to the green energy transition. Oil was the strategic commodity of the 20th century. It powered our cars, our factories, and our armies. But the 21st century will be powered by electricity. And if you want to generate, transmit, and use clean electricity, you need absolutely staggering amounts of copper. Copper is the metal of electrification. It's in the wiring of every electric vehicle, the windings of their motors, and the charging stations that power them. A typical EV needs up to 4 times more copper than a gas-powered car. A single wind turbine can contain several tons of it. As the world races to hit its net zero targets, the demand for copper is set to explode. Analysts call it the new oil because, without a massive new supply, the whole energy transition could grind to a halt. The International Energy Agency is already warning of huge supply shortages. That's what makes the idea of a new untapped copper frontier in Guyana so exciting. A major discovery wouldn't just be a win for Guyana. It would be a critical lifeline for the entire planet's clean energy goals. But the story doesn't stop with copper. There are also the rare earth elements, or REEs. This group of 17 elements, with sci-fi names like neodymium and dysprosium, are the secret sauce of modern tech. They're not actually that rare, but finding them in concentrations high enough to mine is incredibly uncommon. Their superpower is magnetism. REEs are used to create the most powerful, lightweight magnets known to science. And those magnets are absolutely essential for the green transition. They are the heart of the high-efficiency motors in everything from a Tesla to an F-150 Lightning. And they are a core component in the massive generators of offshore wind turbines. Right now, the world has a huge vulnerability. One country has a stranglehold on the entire REE supply chain, from mining to processing, China. That concentration is a source of massive anxiety for governments in Washington, Brussels, and Tokyo. They are desperately trying to find new friendly sources for these materials. And that's where Guyana slots in perfectly. The geology of the Guyana Shield has the right signature for potential RE deposits. If Guyana can prove it has them in economic quantities, it goes from being just another commodity exporter to a crucial link in the high-tech supply chains of the future. It gains immense geopolitical leverage. The oil discoveries made Guyana rich, but the discovery of copper and rare earths could make Guyana essential. To truly appreciate the audacity of Guyana's ambition, just look across its southern border. There you'll find Brazil, a global mining titan, a true Goliath of resource extraction. Brazil is a powerhouse. It's one of the world's top exporters of iron ore, the stuff we use to make steel. Its Carajás mine is the largest on the planet, so vast you can see it from space. But Brazil doesn't stop there. It's also a major producer of bauxite, gold, manganese, and nickel. In 2024, the country's mining exports topped $45 billion, forming a bedrock of its economy. The Brazilian mining sector is planning to invest over $68 billion by 2029. It's also chasing the green transition, aggressively exploring its own lithium valley and rare earth deposits. With its massive infrastructure and decades of experience, Brazil looks unchallengeable. And yet, remember that Fraser Institute survey, the one that sent shockwaves through the industry by ranking Guyana as the #1 spot for mining investment in Latin America, blowing past Brazil. How is that possible? How can a country with basically zero copper production be seen as a better bet than the continent's reigning champ? The answer is all about the mindset of an explorer. Brazil is a giant, but many of its best mines are decades old. Much of the easy-to-find stuff has been found. Operating there means navigating a famously complex bureaucracy and dealing with powerful unions. It's a known quantity, but a complicated one. Guyana is the opposite. It's a true frontier. It's one of the last underexplored pro-mining places on Earth. And for geologists and investors, that's intoxicating. It's the chance to be first, to make a new world-class discovery in virgin territory. The odds of finding a high-grade, low-cost deposit, the kind that generates legendary returns, are seen as much higher in Guyana's untouched shield. Add in a government eager for investment, and you have a nimble, hungry partner. But this isn't just about competition. The relationship is way more complex. Even as they compete for investment dollars, the two nations are working together. There are active plans to finally pave the London to Latham Highway, creating an all-weather road from Guyana's coast, deep into its interior, and right across the border to Brazil. There's even talk of a railway connecting Brazil's northern states to a new deep-water port on Guyana's coast. This creates a fascinating dynamic. For northern Brazil, it's a shortcut to the Atlantic, a cheaper and faster way to get goods to market. For Guyana, it means Brazil could end up paying for the very roads and ports it needs to get its own mineral wealth out of the jungle. So while it looks like a David and Goliath story, the reality is a nuanced dance of competition and cooperation. Guyana is challenging Brazil's throne for new mining dollars while working with it to build the very infrastructure that could let it one day stand shoulder to shoulder with the giant next door. A treasure map and investor excitement are a great start, but the path from potential to production is littered with traps. History is filled with nations that struck it rich only to end up broken. For Guyana, the challenges are monumental, and they come in three main flavors. First, there's the brutal reality of the land itself. The Guyana Shield has kept its secrets for a reason. This is a landscape of triple canopy rainforest, swamps, and rugged hills with almost no infrastructure. No roads, no power grid, nothing. Building a modern mine here is a Herculean task. It means cutting hundreds of kilometers of road through pristine wilderness, building airstrips on remote rivers, and constructing entire power plants in towns from scratch. Every single bolt-in machine has to be hauled over vast distances. Without billions invested in infrastructure, Guyana's treasure will stay locked in the ground. Second, there's the ghost of the resource curse. This is the great paradox where a flood of natural resource money leads not to prosperity, but to corruption, inequality, and economic collapse. The boom in oil and mining can make the country's currency so strong that every other industry, like farming and manufacturing, gets wiped out. The nation becomes dangerously addicted to a single commodity, and the fire hose of cash can overwhelm a country's institutions, fueling corruption on a scale that's hard to imagine. For a terrifying preview of how wrong this can go, Guyana only needs to look west to its neighbor Venezuela, a nation with the world's largest oil reserves that has become a humanitarian disaster. Guyana knows this. It set up a natural resource fund, a sovereign wealth fund designed to manage the oil money responsibly. So far, the IMF has given it good marks, but the real test is coming. As the revenues swell from billions to tens of billions, the pressure to spend and the temptation to steal will be immense. Resisting the curse will require a level of discipline few nations have ever managed. Finally, there's the profound environmental dilemma. Guyana isn't just a patch of land. It's a global ecological treasure. Its forests are a vital carbon sink that helps regulate the world's climate. Its biodiversity is off the charts. How do you dig massive open-pit mines in a place like this without destroying it? Mining is inherently destructive. It means clearing forests and using chemicals. The risk of pollution and habitat loss is enormous. Guyana's Environmental Protection Agency has the near impossible job of balancing development with conservation. The world will be watching, and environmental groups will demand the highest standards. These three challenges, infrastructure, corruption, and the environment, are the great filters Guyana's ambition must pass through. Overcoming them will be even harder than finding the minerals. The obstacles are daunting, and yet there's a real belief, both in Guyana and abroad, that this time could be different. That Guyana might just have a shot at forging a new model for a resource nation. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's based on smart choices and a few key advantages. The country's leaders are openly talking about avoiding the resource curse, learning from the mistakes of Venezuela and others. Setting up the Natural Resource Fund before the big money arrived was a deliberate long-term move. Plus, Guyana isn't going it alone. Today, major mining companies and the banks that fund them are under intense pressure to meet ESG, environmental, social, and governance standards. They know that to operate in a place like Guyana, they need a level of transparency and sustainability that was unheard of a generation ago. Modern technology also offers a chance to build the world's first truly green mining sector from the ground up. Confidence from the industry is solid. Elaine Ellingham, the CEO of Omeg Gold Mines, said Guyana offers a unique combination of world-class geology, a supportive investment climate, and a government that welcomes large-scale mine development. This isn't just talk. G Mining Ventures secured its environmental permit in September 2025 and is moving toward a final investment decision on its massive Oko West Gold project, which is expected to create over 1,000 jobs. Capital is flowing. The country is also being smart about its weaknesses. Partnering with Brazil on infrastructure is a clear-eyed admission that it can't unlock its interior on its own. By becoming a logistics hub for its giant neighbor, Guyana can get its development projects paid for, turning a problem into an opportunity. Success is far from guaranteed. The path is a razor's edge. But Guyana is holding a strong hand. The geological jackpot of the shield, the financial cushion of the oil boom, the lessons of history, and the tailwind of a global energy transition that desperately needs what it has. The vision is clear. Use the oil wealth as a bridge to build a diversified, sustainable economy based on the strategic minerals of the future. Not just another petrostate, but a modern resource superpower. The story of Guyana today unfolds across two frontiers. The first, offshore oil, is reshaping the nation's present with immense wealth and global attention. Yet the second frontier, the mineral-rich depths of the Guyana Shield, may define its future. Beneath this ancient land lies copper, lithium, and rare earth elements, the vital resources of tomorrow's global economy. For a nation of just 800,000 people, the potential is immense. Guyana could move from obscurity to global significance, standing alongside major resource powers like Brazil. But this opportunity comes with enormous risks. History warns of the resource curse, where rapid wealth leads to corruption, inequality, and environmental destruction. Balancing progress with preservation in one of the planet's last great wildernesses will test Guyana's vision and resolve. Now, at a historic crossroads, Guyana must choose its path toward waste and ruin or toward sustainable prosperity. The treasure has been discovered. The journey has begun. What do you think? Can Guyana truly rise? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more global insights.